What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video. Sorry for the absence. I was coming up with new ideas and I was also spending time with family. So now I'll be back to posting every single day. And surprisingly, a lot of people were suggesting that I do make this video because I kind of teased it a little bit before. I'm going to be talking about Carey Price and a little bit about the Montreal Canadiens. There'll be a full Montreal Canadiens video probably coming up within the next week or so, but I wanted to talk about Carey Price specifically because a lot of people still consider him to be one of the best goalies in the world, if not the best goalie in the world. I kind of want to look at his stats last year, some rumors from last year, and then kind of look at where he is now and how he started the season, because the Montreal Canadiens actually look decent to start the year, and Carey Price is a part of that. Against the Leafs, he looked really good. He made a lot of huge saves, so we're going to get into all of that in this video. I'm excited to talk about it. I am actually a huge fan of Carey Price, regardless of if he plays for the Montreal Canadiens or not, so this should be fun. Now, before I start, real quick, I want to mention to you guys that there's some links down below that you can check out for all different stuff, for social media from me and all that other good stuff. But I want to let you guys know that if you use code APH in all caps, you guys will get $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek. Now, SeatGeek is a ticket company that will give you good tickets for good prices. You can check, right before the game or right before a concert. If you think that you can make it to the game, go and grab some tickets there. They don't shut it down. I think it's like after like an hour or so into the event, you'd have to check that out. But they've got great seats there, great ticket prices, so you might as well go check that out. Use code APH in all caps, $20 off your first purchase. But let's get into this video. If we're going to look back to last year, in 49 games played, Carey Price was 16, 26, and 7 with a 3.11 goals against average and a .900 save percentage. Those are not the numbers that you expect from Carey Price. He's one of the best goalies in the world. You expect him to at least carry the team a little bit, but there are some issues there, and it's maybe age. I'm not sure about that. A lot of people consider it age. He's only 31. I believe he's only 31 at this point, and I think it's more health related. I think that's what was happening last year. He was battling with some injuries, but if he wants to continue to be the great goalie and live up to the contract that, he has, he's going to have to play more like he started this year. He's played a little bit better, but last season just wasn't his year. I happen to think that Carey Price is one of the goalies, or one of just the players in the NHL, that after having a pretty bad season, he will bounce back. And of course, like I said, we've seen it a little bit to start this year. The biggest thing that people are complaining about is the contract. The fact that Carey Price has a very large contract, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But again, I have to think that it's injury that was causing him a little bit of trouble last year. And Montreal was kind of in a weird spot last year. They weren't very good. They were going through some growing pains. They wanted to, make some moves, and they did. So you can't really blame Carey Price for that, and he wasn't really his best. Sorry if the focus has been off. I'm trying to mess around with this camera. Something's going on with it. But getting back to some more Carey Price numbers, you have to look at, even when the team hasn't been that great, he's never had a goals against average over 3 until this past season, or a save percentage that was under .900. That's being under .900 obviously is not good, but Carey Price has always been over .900. He's always played very well. He's always had a good goals against average and save percentage. It just shows you that that was kind of a bump and that he'll get better. As we all know, the Montreal Canadiens right now are in a stage where they're kind of rebuilding, and they're kind of seeing who will stay as their core. They've moved on from guys like Pacioretty, of course, the Subban Weber flip that happened a while ago. They've moved on from Galchenyuk. They brought in newer guys. Obviously, they got Drouin a while ago. They've picked up Domi. They've just made some different moves. Shea Weber is the new captain. They're going through a phase where they want to, not a phase, a stage where they want to bring in new young talent like Kotkaniemi. I am never going to say that name on first try, and it's really, really messing me up. But like I said, they're trying to bring in new guys. I look like a ghost. Like, this camera is definitely, something is wrong with this thing. I apologize, guys. But there's the Montreal Canadiens, they need to figure out what lane they're going in, because I still feel like they want to compete because they do have a lot of great talent, but what they're showing is that they're making trades and bringing up younger guys. So if I'm the Montreal Canadiens, I stick with the plan. I do a kind of a soft rebuild, I would call it, because you're kind of retooling, I guess. You still have a pretty solid core with a lot of guys that are early in the season, very early in the season, are proving that maybe the Montreal Canadiens did make the right move in bringing in certain guys because they just play hard. Montreal has proven that they actually are a bit of a better team than a lot of people expected this season. And Carey Price, of course, is going to have a huge impact on that, and that's what this whole video is about. And if the Montreal Canadiens were in a full-on rebuild, Price might have been a guy that was probably going to be moved. But, and of course, because if he did stay, that would definitely hurt his numbers. If they couldn't move him, that would definitely hurt his numbers. And then there wouldn't be a trade partner because bad numbers, huge contract, never goes well. But because the Montreal Canadiens are kind of in a decent spot right now, Carey Price could push this team to an even higher level than what they already are. And they look like a team that will compete. They won't make the playoffs, but Carey Price is the kind of goalie where he can steal games. And this is why I'm going in this lane with talking about Montreal's kind of retooling, is because Carey Price is the biggest factor in all of this to me. Carey Price has proven before that he can steal games. Like I said, he literally can take Montreal, put from a bad spot, and put them over the edge. If you score a couple goals and Carey Price is on his game, you're probably going to win the game. He just makes huge saves. Look at the saves that he was making against the Toronto Maple Leafs. There was shots where I'm like, oh, this is totally going to go in. Like Patrick Marleau got stopped a couple times and I was like, Carey Price is back. He's making these huge saves that we're accustomed to. He just does it. So if Montreal continues to play with heart this year and they can put up a couple games a night, I'm not saying they're going to be good, but they're going to compete. And again, it's not that they're going to be a playoff team. It's just a matter of fact that they're literally just going to compete with good teams, and they're going to prove that with bringing in some more young talent and maybe acquiring some better pieces for this team, that Montreal could quickly flip this around in the coming next couple years and turn themselves back into a playoff team. And what I wanted to quickly mention was, a lot of people are saying, well, if it's a full-on rebuild for Montreal, you got to trade Price. And that's why I mentioned all that, what I just said. You're not trading Carey Price if this team is retooling, and that's what they're doing. There were some random trade rumors last season that the St. Louis Blues and the Montreal Canadiens were working on a trade for Price to be traded to St. Louis, of course, and that never really picked up any steam, but there was some talks of it. And again, that completely got shut down, and it could have, had to do with how big of a contract that Price is due to get. And of course, that contract is the 8-year, $84 million contract that Price got, and that's kicked in this year at a 10.5 AAV on the cap. So teams, if Carey Price just all of a sudden just was terrible, no team is really going to want that deal unless you feel like your team could really help Price get back to form. But again, forget all the trade rumors, forget all that stuff like that. Price is going to stay in Montreal. He's going to have a good year this year, and I honestly think Montreal fans are going to just want to forget about this past season and move on to this year to see the hope that this Montreal team is going to bring for the next couple seasons, and that all starts with Carey Price. I mean, in 2 games played to start the season in a small sample size, he's got a 1.98 goals against average and a .917 save percentage. Those are more like Carey Price numbers, and I expect more of that this season. So let me know what you guys think. Sorry guys, I'm just all over the place today. What do you guys think about Carey Price? Leave your comments down below. Is he back? Is he in fact going to play much better this season? I think he's going to have a very, very good year, and people are going to regret not, giving Carey Price a second chance. Everybody's on Twitter now saying that Carey Price is washed and all this other stuff like that. Carey Price is back, and I really do believe that. So Montreal fans, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. NHL fans, hopefully you enjoyed it. Links are down below if you want to check everything out. Also, I've got some cool stuff coming up real soon. Got some sponsorship stuff that's coming. Also, a couple events that hopefully that we can get together. So if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 4,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Click the notification bell. Peace.